Hello! So, we're here for another home cooking adventure because we got nothing else to do. So today, I am making my shredded chicken tacos. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to get this chicken out. It's been defrosted. I mostly go with like 3 chicken breasts, but since these guys are huge, I'm only doing 2. So we got these guys. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to dry them off a little bit, rinse off the little bit of sliminess. Little salt, little pepper. Then I'm going to go ahead and put them on a sheet pan right here. I already got my oven preheated at 350 to get going. I'm going to throw it in there and let that bake off. While that's baking off, I want to go through slicing up cilantro, limes, onions, and getting the lettuce ready for later on. After that, we'll go through our ingredients, how I season my stuff up, and we'll go ahead and get it going on the oven. Once we get the chicken out, let it cool and rest for a second, shred that up, and then we get going. So yeah, let me go through some things real fast. We have cilantro, we got iceberg lettuce, we got romaine lettuce. There's variety. Plus, romaine's a lot easier if you just want to do like lettuce shells. This is a lot easier than doing iceberg. Got our chicken, we got a small little onion, and some limes. I use that also for, put on the tacos, but also do a little squirt fresh lime juice inside the tacos when I'm getting it ready to go on the skillet there. I do the onions, put it off to the side since I'm cooking on cilantro, and it's going to have, since I'm chopping up the cilantro, sorry. I'm going to also put fresh cilantro inside the tacos, but also put some off to the side along with some diced onions, so that way you can have onions and cilantro as a garnish on your tacos. Or for what we have tacos, but we also have tostada shells, a rancho, and Sopes. We also got sour cream. I already have some pre-shredded cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar, because we do a lot of breakfast sandwiches and it's a lot easier. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get this chicken cleaned up and get it in the oven. Big boys are huge. I like to call behemoths. Now we're going to be very simple when we're doing seasoning for these guys. Salt, pepper, nothing major. All we're just doing is just add a little bit on there. Bake it off for about 15-20 minutes depending on the size, and make sure it's cooked all the way through. So we got our salt. And we got our fresh cracked pepper. Alright, that's simple. Salt, a little bit of pepper, both sides. Put it right here on this little small sheet pan that we have. And then we're going to go ahead and get this in the oven. Now you can do it anyway. You can pan sear it if you want, just to get it cool, cooked all the way through. Or I just do it in the oven because since I got to do a lot of chopping with onions and cilantro and the lettuce and stuff like that, it's something to do while it's cooking. You have something to do while you're just chopping everything. So yeah, let me get this all cleaned off, and then we'll come back and I'll get you guys all set up for getting the cilantro and onions and lettuce and everything done. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so now that we got the chicken in the oven, it's cooking. I've got my bowls out here so I can individually put my chopped ingredients in individual bowls, so that way nothing gets mixed around. We're gonna go ahead and start getting stuff chopped. So we're gonna start with the onion first, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the cilantro, wedge up the limes, get the lettuce shredded. That's why I got a bigger bowl for that one. And then we'll get that stuff off to the side. After that, we'll check our chicken, see where we're at, and then we'll go on from there. And I'll start running through the spices of what we're gonna be putting the chicken in. So yeah, well, let's get started. now that you saw what I got done chopping and everything, so we got our diced onions, our diced cilantro, a couple wedges of limes. I know it's a lot of limes. It's just 2 limes. We keep this third one in reserve. And then we have our mixture of romaine and lettuce shredded. That way you have a little bit of different textures when you're going in to make your tacos, tortilla, or tostadas, whatever you're going to make with this ingredients. We got sour cream and everything. So we're going to go check on the chicken right now. After we check on the chicken, we're going to see where we're at. We're going to bring that out. We're going to let it rest for a bit. And then we're going to shred it. And then we're going to transfer you guys right over to the stovetop. And we're going to start going ahead and get that all seasoned up and cooked. The chicken is rested and cooled down to the point where I can touch it and not burn myself. So we're going to go ahead and get these shredded, get them onto the plate, onto the pan right here. Then we're going to transfer you guys over to the stovetop, and we're going to start seasoning. We're going to go through all the seasoning we're going to be using and start cooking these tacos. Okay, so now that we have now shredded the chicken, as you can see, I did it all by hand. I don't know, it just feels right shredding it by hand. Because not everything's even, everything get a little bit more, all this, it all depends. I've seen people use knives and then smash it down after they chopped it in the cubes, but to each its own. So now that we got this going, we're going to turn on the stove here, and it's on. And I'm going to now, sorry about that, slowly go ahead and add my seasoning, and we'll start mixing around so that way it gets nice and warm. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this is on low. We don't want to have it really, really high where it starts to burn the chicken, but we'll do something simple. A little low flame. We're going to put some salt, some fresh pepper. Now, there are not exact measurements to here. This is kind of like a recipe I came up with on my own. And it's basically, it depends on the amount of chicken you have, taste, flavor. If it doesn't feel right, well, not feel right, if it doesn't taste right, you add a little bit more. But this is what I add right now until I mix it around, and I add a little bit more just to get more of the chicken covered. We add a little bit of a smoked paprika. I throw in some thyme, just a little bit. Go back and forth. You don't have to put a bunch in. Basil. A little bit of savory, oregano, a little bit of onion powder, of course, some garlic powder. I throw a little bit dash of rosemary, and then we got cumin. Cumin is also very strong, but it adds a little flavor. And then I add a little bit of oil. I use olive oil because I like the taste. I just coat it around the chicken and everything like that, and I add a rim, and then now I'm going to go ahead and stir it up and see where I am. Once we get it all going, I'll start adding the cilantro, some fresh limes, and everything else about it. Here we go. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil in a second, just to help it out a little bit. Now, probably a lot of you are wondering, like, he's just doing oil and all this stuff, the chicken's gonna get dried out. You would think that, but I do add a little bit of chicken stock in the end to help help the chicken soak it up, to keep most of the chicken moist. This way it's not, crunchy. So let's go ahead and get some of this fresh squeezed limes in here, and then we're gonna let it sit and cook for a little bit, let the seasoning cook into it. I mostly do about half a lime, a little bit, maybe 75% of a lime. My stock, you see a little bit of the spice to get in there. I do about 1/8 of a cup, and I basically just go around the outer edge here, and then spiral all the way into the middle. That's going to help out any of the chicken that's starting to dry out. It'll soak up most of that stock there, add a little bit more flavor. Now it's starting to smell great. try this. That's on point. Added a little bit of garlic and more of the onion powder and smoked paprika. Helped out. You still got the taste of the cilantro, the other ingredients. Nothing's really overpowering each other. And then adding the chicken stock last to help bring it up. So this way you don't have super dry taco meat. Helps out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this stove. We're going to move it off direct heat. And then I'm going to go ahead and plate me up a plate. And you guys are going to see the finished product. So we are done now. And I'm going to show you guys everything we made here. Ta-da! So I got corn tortilla, a sope, and tostada shell, sour cream, cheese, onions, all that stuff. I am right now in the mix and in the making of making the missus her plate, but this is what it is, and it's full all. You can do whatever you want. You can just have tacos. You can just throw down some nachos and make yourself chicken nachos, tostada shells, sopes, tacos, whatever is available, whatever you guys are fancy. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed me making these wonderful chicken tacos. That was good. And I'll make sure I put the recipe and the steps in the description below. And yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and eat, make the wife a plate, and I hope to see you guys soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you on our next home cooking adventure. Bye.